So here's one. Paul Marino, Mustang. Stan G. Faust, Mustang. Jesse or Jordan Fowler, Mustang. David Kent or Philip Kent, Mustang. Okay. And so, Jim Riley, Joe Zillig, Harry J. Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita Quinwan, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, Bitted Bat 4 Blue Boy Boxes, GPS Paso Robo Rapist Night, Red Randy, Red Gordon, and Ellery, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall. It also might be conclusive that the group of you keep choosing something that is unfavorable, like 4 people who have Mustangs, asserting that they might be correct. They might be to an extent, but you guys keep choosing something that is unfavorable because, for example, my father wouldn't let me buy a Mustang. Okay? And also, we're not really big sports fans. So when you guys choose that unfavorable side, 1 of 4 or all 4, it creates a condition. As well, the blue Corvette Gregory E. Faust once owned, and then Jim Hall liking Corvettes, or you, Oyster 1961 Amphibious Base Man, Oyster Cracker Man, Experimentator Man, Fake Blue Boy, GPS Paso Robo Rapist Night, and or, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall. Those of you trying to assume the role of Gregory E. Faust through the Corvette, basically trying to do the same thing. See, I liked Corvettes, but I wasn't allowed to have the Corvettes. You guys choose again another unfavorable condition, which creates a result. And so C. Bernarda LaFag of LaChance, Freeman, Ellery's, Joe Zilling, Harry Race, Bernard, Perlita, Dave. When you choose the unfavorable condition, Steve Jones, Morgans, it creates a result, which is why you're probably getting fat, sick, repetitively, because Bernarda LaFag of LaChance sits in opposition, or, the Oyster Cracker Man or Robo Knight in opposition of me, or Gregory E. Faust, or a number of other families that had a different perspective. No sports, no gangs, no to those drugs, chemical drugs, right? And so when you sit there, Red Randy, in opposition to me or my father or Ron Miller, trying to prove your point of the carny or the Sparts or the country and western. See, I didn't want that either, Karen. See, you could be standing right next to Greg in opposition to what he originally had, which means, Joe, Harry, Bernard, to me, you stole something from him and then blamed me for it. And then you guys all hoard to the unfavorable conditions of 4 or 8. Because it allowed Pickett Street, Jamaica Street, Harry J. Racer, or whoever, to supposedly be the almighty Christian and rule over all of you, but he doesn't. Keeps choosing the unfavorable condition. See, you can try to weasel out of it all you want, Robo Rapist Night, but you all keep choosing the unfavorable condition, which gives you the result of the world in which you live in. You guys don't want to listen to the military. You guys don't want to listen to the cops, the firefighters. That's why I think me and Sasha are brother and sisters, because you guys are both fucking us up due to that fire station, or the Schwartzes, or the Beswicks. Like I said, Bernard and Ellery, your ghetto life with Perlita proves you're liars. And they'd actually come in and fuck up people's shit on purpose. Mm-hmm. And so be careful, All-American Antilla Joe, or Antilla Oyster Cracker Man. Because it proves that you guys' pilgrimage with the carny circus, you come through and pickpocket and country and western it and make people sick and go back and forth, Red Randy. Mm-hmm. Fully well knowing you're doing that. And like I said, you want to make fun of the police officers. Oh, Tom, there's cops all around here. Maybe they're showing off to prove something to you, Perlita. See, when Jim Neal and I got nailed with that prototype, your hero, your little hero trying to play the Mr. Law down there, Ruler Joe or Harry or Bernard or the Robo Rapist Knight, his whole story might be made up to cover up that he's a rapist and a child abuser. And so everything he's done is his condition on abusing me or Brian Miller or Heidi Beswick or these line of... So they're actually, the cops get to show off. They go, K9, prototype, we busted these 2 a long time ago, but now they're backing through and they're solving the crimes of the All-American. an everyday race, and they can actually start to prove down in that corner of the state where the problem began and the crime that you guys started with. And then they can move it to Colorado or the next one, and they get to prove how Harry or them bid it out and made everybody live in a shit pile on purpose. Huh, Joe? Which leads to something else that probably happened a while ago, huh, Joe? And that's why you guys get carnied out and retarded out. And you guys do it on purpose because you guys think it's funny. Well, some people don't, Perlita, because it's $19 trillion of not funny. And then, like I said, you and your LGBT clan that's lying for you, your little thing down there, Perlita and Dave, they're exposed. And Red Randy's exposed, and the hillbilly squads that follow people around the earth. And see, it goes back to Harry, those kids and us didn't want your tube because the people paid to get out, stay out of it, and have their things to keep the thing stable so we didn't have to live in a shit pile of country and western cowboy and Indians. See all that shit you do, David? Like a little sniveling coward with Ellery and them? Where'd you start out, Perlita? In Arizona? And so also, Ellery and Joe, Bernard, when you call on me and Brian to fix your problem, and we don't sit into the reality that once was, where if you guys separate us from our friends that were girls or people that could get it to work to fix the problem, but you guys keep separating it and making problems, and then going, well, we're going to solve this big crime about Brian and Tom, blah, 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 blah. But yet you wanted me and Brian to fix it, so you guys didn't have the problems. It means, Joe and Harry and Bernard and Ellery, that you stole it from me and Brian in the first place, were our fathers. And then created a problem showboating yourselves about how great and special you guys think you are. And then when you guys are caught in a problem, oh, well, Red Randy and them get the attitude and do carnydom, sloppy seconds. Oh, well. So now the cops, not only with the prototype All-American, and Perlita yapping and showing off and, being a smartass, they get to prove and get to show off, hey, look, they fucked up all this stuff that was out here, what those veterans and other people made, nice and been in before the African Americans and everybody moved in and screwed it up, Lockheed or whoever made. They get to prove those of you who moved in ruined everything. While you're being a smartass, Perlita, trying to get people busted and mutilating and torturing. They get to prove why we lived in this shit mess, because we had to cater to those of you who were crybaby baby rainbow fags or cult members, Bernard. See how annoying that shit is, David? Whisper, whisper. Terrorists. And so, like I said, Robo-Rapist Night, Harry, Joe, and whoever your team is, Perlita, Karen, on why they, no matter where you move, as you guys keep persisting that you're God, they get to watch where you guys move, not knowing what you're doing, and it getting worse the more you lie. Therefore, you would have to have committed murder, huh, Joe? Harry, All-American. So, you be careful with your rewind, Ellery and Dave, because as you're getting your rewind, they're proving who the real criminals and the pain in the asses are who started all the problems. Are you still kneeling on the carny knee there, Bernard? And then the other one, the bidded for? Starting to understand a bit of that, Bernard? How big of a pain in the ass your little movie set and carny set is down there? Because you have this nonchalantly little attitude and you can't, coincide or, can't get your story straight. Look at all the people you're making sick, Bernard. So a device that, like I said, when it once worked, is supposed to swap people out. You guys have hogged it and stole it and just, keep it for yourselves while everybody else has got to suffer and just deal. They supposedly, Harry and Joe and all you guys are like Jehovah, huh? All-American? All-American. And that's why I do this for the military and the police officers, firefighters, all these other people, because they get to look at it, the whole thing, and go, now, let's make our own new subdivision where these people don't know and learn off of the mistakes here. And then, in a couple generation years of time, they actually get a piece of what the heck they've taken from them, while you guys play with your carny shit messed up country and western, huh? Joe, Red Randy. Is that fair? Is that fair? Is that okay now, Perlita? You guys got your mess, and they get to go do their new superpower base. But then they also get to kind of fix and make this superpower base work. And then, the space superpower base, NASA and them get to do their thing, and most of you won't even know. So be careful, Perlita, as you profess to be the almighty seen truth and God of the earth, because most people won't agree with that. And a simple prototype bust for something that was pretty insignificant back then, man, Robo Knight, your assertion, man, they get to take over everything you got for your, supposed story with Bernard about how I supposedly killed Kim and all that, when it never happened. So if you want a stupid war, Bernard, and they watched you sit there, launch your attacks here on the East Coast, West Coast, and screw stuff up, think that the 9/11 and the massacres and all that stuff's funny, they get to take the whole thing from you guys while you're being a smart ass, Perlita, and learn every dirty little thing there is about the whole group of you over a stupid little prototype and a little bud. So K9 unit there, key to car. They let Jim and I go. I come back, I say, you guys are cool. I don't look the same like I used to, but hey, that's age. But then they do it again, Perlita, a lot more smarter. They go, we can actually go back and trail in where the kid was actually screwed over, and this guy, the group of them, the religious cults, cloned it in and screwed up everybody's shit, bidding it out, blaming him the whole time. While they tried to raise Joe or Bernard and the bitted bat for Carney into power to be God. So they actually get to bust 3 cults for doing the same thing that screwed everything up down there, before Robo GPS Knight and Joe. And maybe in Spain too, in England. See, Cowboy Wild and free. Maybe you don't want to be so wild and free when this stuff is going up and people want a different reality. See, like I said, Hilton's, Bowman's, and Kennedy's, they're sitting in a good spot, and some Hollywood celebrities like Tom Cruise and all that, because they get to solve some big crimes of those of you who've been harassing their families and stuff and trashing their stuff. And then they get to prove the hard time you guys give cops and firefighters in the military to fight these needless, pointless wars around the world, when most of you should be evolved enough to know how to quit doing that by now.